9:07, 7 past 9.
Jake Hartford, John Cass, 89 WLS. Your calls, 591-8900. Getting ready for the holiday. What can I tell you, Jake?
I don't know. Tell me. We're getting ready for the holiday.
We're getting ready for the holiday. People are cooking turkeys, and we'll be having our exclusive Jake and John turkey tips tomorrow.
No, those will be your tips.
Yeah, but aren't you going to eat any?
No. We have two announcements, two big announcements.
Yes.
Tomorrow, you know how Oprah has her favorite things?
Mm-hmm.
We are going to have Jake and John's favorite things, and guess what? It involves the listeners.
That's right.
The listeners will be able to get some of Jake and John's favorite things tomorrow.
I guarantee it.
And but you're going to have to be listening tomorrow, and this is a fabulous idea.
It's stupendous, and you're really going to get something out of it, and,
Now, the other thing is, a programming note, Thursday, we're going to be in here. Bruce and Dan are going to be in here from 5 until 9, you and I from 9 to 11. Rowan Roper will be off. And coming in to do their show from 2 until 6 Thursday afternoon is a true broadcast legend, a talk show giant, a man, a 24-karat gold individual, class upon class. He's the very definition of it. We'll be here from 2 until 6 in the studio, not phoning it in. We'll be here in the studio this Thursday.
Sitting in not in my seat, in your seat.
And when I heard about this yesterday, I was so excited, having worked with this person in the past. This will be a true Thanksgiving treat for our listeners.
And that's all you're going to tell them?
No. Nate Clay. Right here on WLS.
I remember Nate Clay back in the day during the Harold Washington days and black politics, and he was very interesting and always very well informed.
So when you're cutting your turkey and eating your side dishes and then throwing up afterwards, you'll have Nate to help you through those 4 hours.
That's very nice, Jake. If I ever do a show on my own, I hope you give me as beautiful a send-off as that.
Well, when you work your way up to the legendary status of a Nate Clay, yes, I would.
Thank you.
There you go. But it is turkey time, and I was listening to Rowan Roper yesterday afternoon.
Yes.
And the two guys have ruined Thanksgiving for me.
They're allowing themselves to be the agents of ruining Thanksgiving. But the true agents are none other than PETA.
Listen to what they played on the show yesterday.
Attention, this is an important consumer warning. Before you serve your family a Butterball turkey this Thanksgiving, you should know that Butterball workers have been found guilty of criminal cruelty to animals. Undercover video taken at Butterball shows workers beating, kicking, and torturing turkeys, and birds with bloody wounds and infections living in filth. This Thanksgiving, think twice before serving your family a Butterball turkey. For more information, visit ButterballAbuse.com.
There's nothing crueler than cutting a creature's head off and then pulling all its feathers off and then his insides out and then eating it.
But the feathers come off after he's dead.
Yeah.
So they don't suffer that. They don't know their feathers are gone.
Did you ever cut a chicken's head off? They run around for quite some time.
How long do they run around?
I don't know. I remember once my Thea Tula had to chase one down in the village. He started running.
Well, there's going to be 45 million turkeys eaten this Thanksgiving and another 20-some for Christmas. I'm sure Butterball and all the other turkey people, they must have the killing down pat.
They do.
Because otherwise, if they chopped the head off and the turkey ran around for all over the place for a few minutes at a time, they would never be able to kill 45 million turkeys.
See, the PETA problem is they're interested in some cruelty. Apparently, a few people that get paid to cut heads off turkeys were cruel to some of the turkeys. And the first thing they do is worry about the turkeys. Whereas if they were truly liberal, they would send grief counselors to the workers because obviously they're under some kind of trauma to act that way.
Well,
right?
why would you assume that?
Because you're in the middle of, a turkey slaughterhouse, it probably affects you. It could. I know that as a butcher's apprentice, if you're around chickens for quite some time, you could do pretty strange things with chickens. I remember one time working for my dad, and I had to take out chickens out of the ice box, out of the ice, and stack them up so they dry. And he said, stack these chickens up. So I did. You'd stack them up into pyramids. And then, I don't know, something got over me, Jake. And I must have been about 12 years old. And I started posing them in various suggestive poses. It was kind of like the chicken Kama Sutra. And my dad came back in the butcher shop, saw that, immediately kicked me in the butt, and sent me and fired me. Basically. So weird things do happen.
Steve in Spring Valley. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Jake. I'm very excited about the programming change there for Thanksgiving Day with Nate coming back. But as a great talk show talent that he is, I think you punched him right in the gut because you failed to mention his great musical styling.
Oh, yes. Song and
really
dance.
His rendition of "Oh Daddy Boy" is classic.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that.
If you could please pull that up just to give everybody a little sample of what they have to look forward to in case they've never heard Nate.
We may do that. Thank you, Steve.
I appreciate your time. Bye now.
See, there's a man. He's excited about Thursday now.
The guys behind the glass are searching for it right now.
Ruth in Naperville. Good morning, Ruth.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Hey, Ruth.
Could you please stop talking about the damn turkey with his head cut off? I love Thanksgiving.
I do too.
Well, I heard it on Rose's show yesterday, and now today. Let's talk about something nicer, like how good a turkey tastes on Thanksgiving.
Well, let's talk about how John would take the turkeys and just put them in sexual poses. How about that, Ruth?
Not turkeys, they were chickens, Ruth. My dad fired me, and I had to take 3 buses all the way home. He kicked me right in the butt and said it in broken Greek, "Get the hell out of here."
Thank you, Ruth.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye, Ruth.
We'll get right back to your calls, 591-8900. It's 9:15. Time for, you know what it's time for, Traffic on the Fives, as always, right now with Dave Stewart on 89 WLS. 9:16.
John Cass, Jake Hartford.
Let's take some more calls, John. Stephen McCook, good morning.
Yeah. Steve?
That's you.
That's you. I'm John. That's Jake.
Hey. So, John, you're Greek, right? Greek.
Are we going to get into some kind of ethnic?
And the sheep are afraid, huh? What did you do with the sheep is what I want to know.
Come on down here, Steve. I'll tell you what, Steve. Why don't you come down here? We'll talk about it face-to-face, okay?
Okay.
You open your mouth like that?
What do you want to meet?
Anytime. You know where to reach me. Let's talk about it. Come on.
All right.
All right?
Have
okay, smart guy. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, you're the one who brought up what you did with the chickens.
I did with the chickens, but
so it's only natural.
No, it's not. That's called racism.
What?
When you apply a certain vulgar stereotypes to ethnic groups.
I didn't know there was a stereotype like that.
Right. Well, good. I don't think you want to go there either. Let's go. You got Nate Clay?
No.
You got the
No. Now I'm all upset.
Don't be upset. Oh, like Jake.
Because
Because
here's what I'm thinking. Well, if he was posing chickens, I thought maybe he'd be posing turkeys or lobsters or.
I was 12 years old.
Obviously, you loved animals.
You know what? Because you're bored. You're sitting there stacking a pyramid of chicken after pyramids of. That's all.
Did you ever work at a Dunkin' Donuts and play ring toss with the donuts when it's slow?
Is that what you did when you were a kid?
I never said that.
That was your thing.
I just asked the question.
That wasn't my thing, then.
I'm sorry. John in Tinway. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Hey, John.
I'm calling from my car, so I'm sorry if I could barely get through.
As long as you don't hit anything.
All right. I have 2 things to say. One, I think I'm going to have to infiltrate the Democrat Party, here, especially here in Illinois, in order to get things done the correct way. And the second thing, once I get in, is that I'm going to try to repeal NAFTA. I think NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Alliance, is what did in this country with thousands of companies and manufacturers leaving this country and then bringing it back in for lesser cost. And I'll hang out and I'll listen to what you guys got to say. Thank you.
You want to take that one, John?
Yeah, sure. That has nothing to do with turkeys, my friend. We're on the turkey issue. We're not in foreign policy right now.
Stephen Niles. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Steve.
Just want to know about the John, when he was fooling around with them chickens,
Steve, he was posing the chickens. He was being an artiste.
I was posing them, and
yeah, but it was still foul play.
It was it was so foul play that there were about 5 or 6, let's call them tableaus on different butcher blocks. And when my dad saw that, he looked at it like he didn't know, he couldn't understand what. And then he realized what it was, and then I've got the mutza. You know what the mutza is with the hand out, and he said "nah" and a few choice words, and then came the foot right in the butt, kicked me right in the ass, and sent me home.
I still consider it foul play.
Definitely.
Thank you, Steve.
That's when you work for your dad. If you work for a family business, sometimes you got an issue.
Obviously, he wasn't.
He wasn't happy with me.
Well, but you weren't working hard enough to where you had time to do that. Kevin on I-57. Good morning, Kevin.
Hey, John mentioned getting PETA involved, and for the workers, they were killing all the turkeys.
The poor workers, aren't they? Don't they need some counseling and some hand-holding?
Well, I don't know if you recall that video of Sarah Palin where they framed it and the guy was killing the turkeys in the background.
Yeah.
Sure didn't look like to be a happier guy in the world to doing that.
I don't know. I don't remember his face. I thought his eyes were pretty close set together.
Smiling. He was turning around at the camera, smiling while he was killing all the turkeys.
And then did he squat in the dirt and play the banjo?
No, not quite.
Okay.
Not quite.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right.
I kind of find maybe not amazing. I don't know.
It kind of took a
is.
weird turn, didn't it, Jake?
Well,
let's admit it.
The people who are against PETA today because they're trying to support the turkeys.
Yes.
Weren't really against PETA the other day when they had that full-page ad of Joanne Krupa naked except for the panties.
Let's admit that Jake is talking about me, and I did not support the panty issue, and I actually don't support PETA's attack
I'm not
on
just
the poor
saying
turkey.
you. I'm just saying other people. You're the one who thinks it's all about you. I'm just saying
it's
people.
Not about me. It was bad.
Some people are against PETA today because of the turkeys, but last week when it was the naked model, they were happy with that.
That put a picture in my head that will never come out forever.
And it's still on the WSAM.com website.
Stop.
Bruce and Dad, look for the blog, look for the picture. 9:21, back after this.
89 WLS. When you encounter travel tie-ups, tell the 89 WLS traffic tip line. Just call 312-984-CARS. 312-984-5277.
9:27.
Jake Hartford, John Cass, loving the turkeys.
Yes.
Embracing pizza.
Now, if it will help you at all to decide not to have turkey this year, Sir Paul McCartney is asking people not to have turkey for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
What's his problem? What's his malfunction?
He doesn't like meat. He's a vegan.
All right, so go eat some lentils then. You should go sit there in a dark room, eat some lentils.
Are you saying he doesn't have...
No, he doesn't have any rights. Today's the day.
You have rights?
Yes, we do.
Why doesn't he have rights?
We're meat eaters. Because I don't want some...
You're advising people to have turkey, correct?
Yes.
So why can't he advise people not to have
Because
turkey?
this is a historical day. This is not about going... Thursday's not about going shopping.
But you're against free speech then?
I am for free speech, and my free speech is to tell him to go eat his lentils.
Except for Paul McCartney.
I'm not telling him not to say it. I'm saying go in a dark room, sit there, eat lentils, and come up with some more pop songs, okay? But leave my turkey alone.
It's very hostile.
Yes, I am.
Ken and Elgin, good morning, Ken.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, Ken.
How are you, John? Hey, I just wanted to. It's not about turkey. Well, it's about turkey. I like what it is about turkey, and it's not about shopping or any of that other crazy stuff. But your article about the potatoes changed my wife's life. She could not believe how good they were, and I couldn't believe how good they were either.
They were tasty, weren't they?
Oh my gosh! Man. She says it's the butter. It's not the potatoes.
It is.
The butter, but
It's the technique, and we'll be going into some of that more as Jake and I open our first cooking school.
John's
tomorrow.
cooking school.
We're going to have Jake in an apron with a little hat, like a little white hat. It'll be good.
What's a hufta?
A hufta is a Greek measurement that means basically a handful.
Okay,
right. So hufta. It said handful in the column on Sunday. Handful.
She
hufta.
asked me what it was. And I couldn't answer the question.
It's all clean. Okay, tell her it's all. There's nothing.
Yeah, but John, Ken, does your wife have the same size hand that you do?
No.
So then there's a difference. If Ken was making it, his handful would be different from her handful.
Guess what? I know that Ken's wife, what is her name, Ken?
Dawn.
That Dawn knows how to cook. I can tell, because if you could say handful to someone and they know a palmful is, about what? 2.5 teaspoons, tablespoons, or whatever it is. Just throw it in there. Don't worry. Right, Ken? Were they good?
They were the best. Like you said in your article, you've never had them any other way since then, and we aren't going to make them. She's got 2 dinner parties planned with them already for the New Year. So.
The best baked potato in the history of mankind in Sunday's Tribune. Thank you.
500 degree. It's the 500 degree treatment at the end that really adds the crispness to it and the flavor to it. They were very good.
Thanks, buddy. Bye, Ken.
Bye. See, Jake?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, buddy.
I still don't understand how you'd see the difference in handfuls. I don't understand that. That's not precision. That's not precision.
That's right. It's cooking.
It's 9:30, time for news, weather, traffic with Dave Stewart. He has a handful of traffic to tell you about and a whole bunch of other stuff right here in 89 WL.